I welcome you all on all our social media platforms to this series, Bruised, Broken, and Ready to Heal. Our God is faithful. Our God is great. Tonight, I'll be sharing on rejection. Let's quickly run through the Bible, Genesis chapter 16. I'm quickly going to read from verse 1 through to 6. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, the Lord has restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid, it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened unto the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid unto thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. And Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. Beloved, this was an account of a family believing God for fruitfulness and discussing one with the other. Abram decided to follow the advice of his wife. The maid that became a surrogate mother now decided to despise her madam. She looked down. She belittled her source of blessing, her channel of blessing. And of course, no one likes that. She was thrown out. The pregnancy was rejected. She was rejected. I'm sure by the time the son was born, she would also have been told of the story of how he came into existence. When we look at that word rejection, we can also say it means to be forsaken. To reject simply means to refuse to accept. Abraham did not deny the paternity of the pregnancy that Hagar was carrying. Sarah did not deny the fact that it was a suggestion that brought Hagar into motherhood. But at the point where the pain was being inflicted because the servant decided to despise her madam, that pregnancy was rejected. Beloved, Psalm 27 verse 10 says, When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. The Amplified says, Although my father and my mother have forsaken me, yet the Lord will take me up. He will adopt me as his child. We're talking about rejection today. I don't know where you stand. Maybe you know somebody that has gone through rejection or abandonment. Or maybe you are even the person that has experienced this. Maybe as you grew up, your mother told you or your father told you that you were not accepted by your father. Now, the truth of the matter is that some things must have happened before the rejection came into being. Rejection is not something new under heaven, as we have read in the Bible. It occurred in the Bible not just once, but that's the case we are looking at tonight. In Romans 9:13, the Bible says, As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. The Lord despised Esau. The Lord rejected Esau because he despised his birthright in the book of Genesis over a plate of food. He rejected what was his destiny. And this was not something that was taken lightly in Israel. And the Lord's heart was heartbroken. It was broken. In 2 Samuel chapter 13, we read of Amnon and Tamar. Amnon was one of the children of King David. He lusted after his half-sister, Tamar, And he posed as if he was ill and requested for the sister to come in and take care of him. Tamar came in, took care of her brother, and ended up being raped by the brother. After that incident, Amnon despised and rejected her. So, are we saying that rejection is easy to accept? No, not at all.